First glance, this may appear like vehicles just driving aimlessly through the forest, but this is the Warrior Dash, the world's largest running series. This is a 5K run that takes you through the forest and over obstacles, and leaves you in a filthy mess. You're not supposed to show up intoxicated, but I don't think everybody got the message.
You look like the Stone Age warriors. Nice. You look great. Everybody just got paroled, right? Okay.
My wife and I were running for the pride of our martial arts school, Tien Taijutsu Martial Arts. True warrior spirit. It quickly became obvious that we were in line and running with some pretty serious individuals. I tried not to be intimidated by anybody we were running with, or anybody we saw completing their run. But as the clock starts to tick down, from 10 to 0, the excitement builds. With that burst of flames, the race had begun, and we were off and running. The first challenge led us into the water and over these floating barriers. The next thing that we came to was this over a 4-foot wall, under some barbed wire fence. This part is really hard for most people, but I've been training all my life doing things like this, and frankly, I live for this stuff. A couple of times we were limited to how fast we could go because there were so many people in front of us, but almost everyone is super cool and willing to help each other out through difficulties. This is so much fun, it's easy to forget that you're working really hard. Fortunately, there are places where you can get rehydrated along the run. Most people would tell you running up the steep hills is the toughest part of the challenge. But there are other obstacles that really challenge you as well. It's not uncommon for people to be walking through some of the course. Because, after all, this is about having fun, not trying to kill yourself. Even with that being said, people get competitive, because you don't want Dale from accounting to beat you. Seriously, everyone was really supportive of one another, and you could see I was having a great time with a warrior spirit. I have to say my favorite obstacle was the cargo net. I had so much fun with some of these obstacles that I actually went back and ran through again. Doing that destroys your overall time, but for me, it's not about how fast I finish, it's about how much fun I have. And for my wife, one of the only things she hates more than heights is getting dirty, but you would never know it from how tough she was. And again, if anybody's too nervous or has any type of phobia, you can run around the obstacles instead of through them. But one thing is certain about the Warrior Dash. Nobody finishes this race dry, and nobody finishes this race clean. As you make your way through the final obstacle, which is the mud pit, you know that you're very close to finishing the race. Most people are pretty exhausted by this point, but it's almost impossible not to go through this with a big smile on your face. The first time I went down was intentional, but even the most sure-footed individual goes down in the mud. One last slide on your backside, and the race is done.
Oh, this guy's got the video camera still going.
The Warrior Dash is a lot of fun. I have to recommend it to anybody who feels up to the challenge. It felt good to face and overcome all of the obstacles and to finish the race. The only thing that felt better is to splash down into the water and to try to wash off some of the mud. At the end of the Warrior Dash, you're offered a free beer and a turkey leg, because there's nothing warriors love more than beer and turkey legs. But the Warrior Dash isn't just a reason to have a big party. Warrior Dash is actually an event for charity. It's not an event to raise awareness for orphaned shoes, but if every one of these shoes represented a sick child, then you would see how important it is to raise money and awareness for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Thanks for all you do, Warrior Dash people.